After the woman got pregnant, she often found that her husband would disappear in the middle of the night. One night, she went to the guest room, and to her shock, found her husband lying in bed with his first love. Not only was the first love pregnant, she also demanded that her child become the eldest son of the family, and inherit the family's multi-billion fortune. The man agreed with a smile, saying he would never let the woman's baby be born, so it wouldn't threaten the position of the illegitimate child. What he didn't know was that the woman had already heard everything outside the door. The man who used to be so gentle and loving turned out to be nothing but a mask. The next day, he brought her a box of pills, saying they were for protecting the pregnancy, and urged her to take them immediately. But the moment she saw the packaging, her expression changed instantly. The man realized she might know the truth, so he dropped the act, and tried to force the pills into her mouth, determined to eliminate any threat, so the illegitimate child could inherit the fortune smoothly. Just then, the housekeeper rushed in, saying the first love had fallen down the stairs. The man immediately ran off to check on her, and the woman took the chance to make herself vomit, then escaped the villa with the housekeeper. Luckily they found a kind driver willing to give them a ride, but just as the woman thought they were safe, the man showed up in his car, and a group of bodyguards surrounded them. The housekeeper dropped to her knees begging for mercy, but the man wouldn't let them go, and ordered his men to bring them back. When the woman returned to her room, she saw the man's hands stained with blood. In that moment she realized the first love had miscarried, but the man still refused to give up. He even planned to have the woman give birth, so the child could be handed over to the first love. Facing such a cruel plan, the woman immediately demanded a divorce, but the man showed no remorse. He left after throwing out a harsh threat. Soon after, the woman learned that the housekeeper had died in an accident. She was completely devastated, and knew she couldn't protect her child on her own, so she ran to the sofa, and slammed herself into it. When she woke up, the man was in the hospital room, blaming her for being immature. But the woman fired back, saying if the first love hadn't miscarried, he would never have cared about her child. Watching him walk away, she finally saw his true colors. Soon after, the first love came to the hospital, and mocked the woman, even mentioned that her father's company building had been sealed. The woman was shocked to learn her father had already passed away. She rushed to the company, only to find it had been shut down. Just then, her father's assistant came out. The woman quickly approached, and asked about the company's situation. The assistant told her all business partnerships had been terminated. Right after that, she received a call about her mother's suicide attempt. She rushed home, and found her mother sitting on the floor. Tears filled the woman's eyes. She saw the phone in her mother's hand, picked it up, and discovered evidence that everything had been a setup. Just then, the man also arrived at the scene, but before he could speak, the woman passed out. At the hospital, the doctor angrily scolded the man for neglecting his wife. The woman stayed unconscious for a long time before managing to give birth, but the baby was left on the floor by the first love. Thinking back on everything she had been through, the woman called the man, and said, in this life, don't ever come looking for me again. She hung up the phone, and left this world. By the time the man arrived at the hospital, the woman was already gone. He broke down in tears, finally realizing he had destroyed her with his own hands.